So a lot of you have been asking for my advice on hats in the YouTube comments and in the private community. So here is my ultimate guide to men's hats. There once was a time when almost every man wore one when he was out and about, but those days are gone. Now, your choice of hat can be used as a way to both cover up a bad hair day, protect yourself from the sun, and show off your style, but not always and everywhere. Let's talk about the bucket hat. So we've been seeing it everywhere. Every pop star, rapper, TikToker has been sporting one. Now, unless you're a teenager, raver, or a hype beast, I'd avoid it. They're called bucket hats because they're structured like a bucket with a very short brim. They come in a variety of materials, but either way, there's definitely an adolescent vibe to these hats that makes it difficult for the average guy to wear them. However, the beauty is that just like they came and went 20 years ago, they'll be out of style again soon, so I would say it's just best to avoid them if you're wanting to look your best and not chase trends. So I have family in the ranching business in Texas, so I'm no stranger to Western wear. Now, I can say this with great confidence. Cowboy hats should only be worn in their natural habitat, like in the countryside or stagecoach. Yes, I know my client Kevin Costner sports one on Yellowstone, but you're not gonna see him show up on any red carpets wearing one because they're a utilitarian and very specific time and place type of item. Now let's get into some of the hats that you can actually wear. The baseball cap. So as American as apple pie, the baseball cap is one of my favorite pieces of headwear as it's the perfect off-duty hat that any man can wear with casual outfits. Think athleisure wear, jeans and tee combos, summer shorts outfits, etc. So baseball caps tend to be made out of wool, cotton, polyester, in a single color and with a logo embroidered on the front or without. There's eyelets and grommets and mesh to add ventilation, while the bill can be stiffened with cardboard, plastic, or even wood. Now, as well as being the ideal way to show off your alma mater or sporting allegiance, the baseball cap has also become like the standard low-key celeb disguise. One thing you have to understand is that there's more than one type of baseball cap. There's the classic unstructured type with a buckle at the back, the snapback with the plastic stud adjuster, and the fitted flat peak versions like New Era makes, plus plenty of high-end designers who released their versions of it. The trucker cap is another baseball style hat that has a mesh back and a foamy front. So back in the 2000s, everyone was wearing these, especially from brands like Von Dutch and Ed Hardy, and like all Y2K trends, it seems to be making a comeback, but please don't do it. The more versatile versions of the baseball hat have discreet branding and are neutral in color, and I'd always recommend going for a less is more solid color design, preferably with no logos, graphics, or patterns. Also, be warned that a baseball cap is not a great choice if your forehead is short or if you have a very round face. Now, it will ultimately accentuate both and not in a good way. Dark colors can also get quite toasty, so switch yours up for a lighter color in warm weather, or it might get quite steamy under there. Next up is one of my personal favorites. It's stylish and timeless. The Panama hat is a staple summer piece. I mean, you've got good-looking, stylish men like Pharrell Williams, Bruno Mars, Tom Brady wearing one. It also looks great on the more mature gentlemen like Anthony Hopkins, Ian McKellen, and of course, the late Sean Connery, aka the original 007. On a practical level, a Panama hat is great for sun protection as it's crafted from naturally cooling materials and will not only keep the sun out of your eyes, but also off your scalp and the tops of your ears, where everyone tends to forget to apply sunscreen. And it has the power to offset a rounder face, especially when tipped slightly at an angle. I gotta say, the Panama hat shines with summery outfits like linen shirts, a blazer and chinos, or a Cuban collar shirt and shorts. So not only does it look great with these casual outfits, but it also works well for occasions where you need to dress up, such as a summer wedding. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the Panama is a structured hat, so make sure to get your measurements before you go shopping. Also, I've learned the hard way that this particular type of hat is easy to both lose and crush. So it's probably best not to spend a small fortune unless you're really committed to keeping it safe or getting it steamed back into shape. However, keep in mind, cheaper hats aren't always the best quality, so you'll probably need to replace them more frequently. The next hat option is one that I've gotten so many questions about over the last few years. Typically made from tweed wool, the flat cap is made from a single piece of cloth and features a small brim at the front. Now, this style originated around 400 years ago in Britain and in Ireland, where it was once mandatory to wear on Sundays for any male over the age of 6. Just fun history fact. Look at where it's from and you're gonna understand the flat cap's primary purpose is to keep your head warm and prevent rain from getting in your eyes. So with that said, I would only wear this type of hat during the winter months as the heavier material will look so out of place during the spring and summer seasons. So you're probably thinking of that show Peaky Blinders right now, right? Well, technically, Tommy Shelby's trademark hat is not a flat cap. It's actually a baker boy or newsboy cap. So a flat cap has a flatter shape, whereas a baker boy cap, it's constructed using 8 panels of material joined by like a little button detail on the top, which gives it kind of like this baggier, rounder shape. However, it's safe to say that the majority of people would not be able to tell the difference. Now, the flat cap and baker boy have both been spotted on a number of different celebrities. And I would say David Beckham happens to be a big fan of the baker boy cap. So he styles his with more rugged looks, quilted jackets, wool overcoats, vests, and tailoring. If you really want to wear one, then the best way to build an outfit around a flat cap is to take the colors in the weave of the hat and then build your look using the same tones or other neutral colors. So remember though, you should not be wearing this hat during the warmer months. That's the one rule you gotta remember. So let's talk about another hat rooted in tradition. So while similar, the Trilby and the Fedora have subtle differences. So both styles share a teardrop depression in the crown, but the Trilby has a thinner rim and is often worn to one side. The Fedora, however, has a rim that's usually 2 inches or more wide and stays more level. Also, like the Panama, the Fedora can deceptively add a few inches to your stature, which helps, a little if you're on the shorter side. Now, these types of hats are often made from felted wool, cashmere, mohair, rabbit, beaver, and even leather. But you can also find vegan-friendly versions made in straw, linen, cotton, and even denim. Now, because of the skinny rim, the Trilby is a little more versatile than I would say the Fedora. And like Panama hats and flat caps, these particular items, they can seem a little old-fashioned and costumey if they're worn incorrectly. So that said, there are some incredible hat makers like my friend Nick Fouquet who have created fresher, cooler, and more, I would say, stylish takes on the Fedora, but also just consider these if they really speak to your style and you absolutely know how to wear one. Now, you can easily tell when the hat is wearing the person and not the other way around. So just don't jump into the deep end until you're well into your style journey. Make sure to keep your look super simple too, and style your hat with either casual looks like your favorite jeans and a t-shirt, or stick to smart, tailored, or semi-formal fit. Again, match your hat to the color of your trousers, t-shirt, or shirt, just for a more coordinated look. Now, if it's chillier out, you'll probably want to go for this cold weather accessory. The Beanie is a head-hugging seamed hat or skull cap. It's usually fashioned out of wool, cashmere, polyester, or mohair, and knitted into a rib texture, and its main purpose is insulation and keeping your hair out of your face. Now, there's always more than one way to wear a beanie. You can pull it right down to cover the ears, or keep it cuffed and perched on top, but this can definitely be considered a little overly hip if you go too wild with the cuffing. And unless you attend South Park Elementary School, under no circumstances should you wear one with a pom-pom. Also, bold patterns, I would say, are best left to the ski slopes. Otherwise, it's just gonna draw too much attention away from your outfit. Speaking of the design, as well as protecting your noggin from the wind, rain, and snow, the beanie is a really great way of adding just a pop of color to an often dull winter wardrobe. Now, for example, when worn with an overcoat, I like personally to go with darker shades in navy, gray, or black, but you can also opt for fun colors like green, maroon, or even yellow to accent the rest of your outfit. Just don't go too loud with it like this, because it's not what a stylish modern guy would sport. Now, while we're on the subject of beanie mistakes, as this hat is designed for keeping your head warm, why are some guys still wearing it in June? Seriously, I don't get it. You just look so out of place, and it's not like you would wear your snow boots in July, so you should really pivot and adjust what you wear depending on the weather and situation. And with your headwear, it's no different. Also, a beanie, it's a quick fix for a bad hair day, right? But it's also good at creating them. So if there is a chance that you'll need to take it off, just be prepared to rectify the hair situation underneath. Although, if you don't have any hair to worry about, then you never have to worry about this annoying problem. One last point. Okay, so someone recently asked in the comments if women view hats as a red flag for a bald check. Come on guys, where's your confidence? Present the best possible version of yourself and you're gonna be head and shoulders above the average guy. And stop with this nonsense.